Here we go. And I think you can retract the porch for me.
Porching in.
Roger.
Are we going to make our way to
Keep an
halt
eye
now?
on the temp probe there.
Cool.
It looks all right.
Yeah, we're moving the ship a bit, so it'll take a while.
Okay.
Porch is all the way in.
Roger, thank you.
Steve,
Yes.
that sort of cauliflower bumpy looking texture, is that all
Tilt
lipids?
down on Atalanta some more. I'm going to come down here and try and come under the smoke, come around to...
I can't tell from here. I was doing something else.
Ah.
Yeah, no, I don't. I can't tell. I doubt it.
So backwards flange pull. Never seen that before.
That's a pretty cool feature right there.
Where do you see that, Dan?
The flange pull's on the inside there. Like it grew up this little arm here and then
Then it grew another.
it grew a flange pull inboard.
Or is it coming from the other side? No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It could be
A bridge pool.
a bridge pool. That's a new one. Give me just a little leash there, Jake. I'll have a peek here.
Coming down.
You can turn the downlights off, maybe? I don't know.
Downlight's coming up.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say from this angle.
So when you're resetting the DVL here, what are you resetting it to? Back to USBL?
Yeah.
Can,
So that brought it back to
push
where
it just
I
a
was
bit
just
there if you want to actually.
a more reasonable spot for my head to understand
Just
where
a
we
little
are.
more.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good.
I don't know how.
Hey Steve, is that what they call phase separation there? That weird kind of, it looks like it's on fire. Is that a
think
legit term?
phase separation is basically happens in where the fluid is being, well, where the fluid has traveled through. So I think what it means is that under these high pressures and high temperatures, you can separate between a brine type solution, a salty, like what would in our sort of atmospheric pressure and temperatures would be, a fluid, and a gas phase in our temperature, a vapor phase. Now, they're both fluids, but still what happens is that different chemical species reside there. So you can't, so you have a brine type fluid and a vapor type fluid, even though it's a vapor is, that's my understanding of it. So it's because your phase diagram for, fluids and solids and gases is different when the temperature goes really high and the pressure goes really high. So they measure the chlorinity to get you a sense whether you're in in the brine type fluid, which has different chemical species, and the vapor
run
type fluid. And that lets you know where the fluid came from.
Oh, I see.
Then that's my understanding, and I'll now caveat that with that I'm a physical oceanographer with, you know, basically grade 12 chemistry.
Ryan, thanks for that, Steve. Heard the term before, I just never could.
Yeah, you were talking about some other fiery stuff, which I don't know what that is, what's going on there. You had seen something somewhere. And that could be related to that, but unfortunately my hydrothermal vent chemistry is strictly what I read about in these particular papers that we've been involved in at the Endeavour segment. I don't get to go anywhere else. I got a tether too. I got a cable, a big 800-kilometer cable attached to me. So I got to know this and whatever happens in physics near the coast. Yeah, I was just going to say that the DVL, I mean, I just don't know how it could even work at all in perfectly vertical structures when you get a downward looking ADCP, trying to measure the Doppler shift of its 4 beams to say.
It's going back and forth between 2 beams, 3 beams, and like right now it's 2 beams, 4 beams. So I would define working.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Your DVL isn't going to work. You have to rely, I guess, on the USBL, which also doesn't like to work here because of all that smoke.
Yeah. We take what we can get. Mostly a lot of sonar I rely on.
Yeah.
But
visual and sonar.
Good old compass and visuals, yeah.
But resetting the
I got really nervous there when we went into the black because then I'm all, you know, instruments, but it tends to kite you up, and then so you lose all your sonar targets, so you're in, you know, you have nothing but a compass then and an altimeter. Well, you don't have an altimeter, then depth.
Well, it's sort of one of those situations like it happens with, you know, boating too. If you're in a bad sort of whirlpool thing, you just let go of everything and you just let the thing take you.
Yeah, basically that's what I do. I find if I take my hands off the controls, I get, you know,
you're going to be tossed in the safe direction rather than if you try to power into a nearby wall.
Exactly. Usually it just goes up. So in theory, that's Dante that we're lighting up in our aft camera there, directly behind us. So if I turn
Hulk.
around, I'm sorry, Hulk. If I turn around, not sure how far that is away.
Less than 10 meters for Hulk. You can see it in the sonar.
Yeah. And I think we're going to want a 045.
10 meters.
Sure. Yeah, if we put Atalanta here, because we're going to walk around it here. Put Atalanta behind. Well, it's actually right behind us right now, right?
What'd you say?
Look to your right a little bit with Atalanta. Yeah, so I don't know. Depending on where we want to be here. I'm going to give it to Jake while I take a bio break and let Jake look around a little bit.
So Nav, I glanced down at my computer here, and then now I'm seeing this. So we turned around and we are looking more to what we think is Hulk,
Yes, correct.
and we're pretty close to the top of it. Is that right? It looks like a toppy area.
This is
I can't see the...
Yeah, it looks like it, but unclear. There's something in the murk back there.
Yeah, there's still... So the mesotech is facing front, is that right, I guess? And still giving us a target at... What are those 5-meter lines or 2-meter lines?
In the meso?
Yeah.
Up here, these are 10-meter rings on
Oh,
her.
okay. Okay, when's the one closer to you?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5-meter increments.
And that's just a forward-facing one on the brow, right?
Yes.
So there's 2 bumps there, I guess. So it's the same deal here. We look for probably first a place that we can sample, and second, make sure that it's going to be a hot sample.
Okay.
Do you feel like you want to ship move, Jake?
Yeah.
Here.
That looks like a good spot.
Yeah, okay. Bridge nav. Can we have 10 meters 045, please? Thank you.
And Steve, is that bacterial filament kind of waving in the air there?
Which camera?
It's the one on your right, and it's kind of bottom left.
Those little particles flying upwards?
It's like a little flag in the air. Very bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably. But even those little particles that are flying through the air are probably bacteria.
Cool.
Clumps, flocks. A flock of bacteria?
A flock of bacteria, I see. Is that like a business of ferrets?
No, it's actually the term.
That's what I mean. It's a group of ferrets is called a business.
Well, no, but the flocking is something that happens with smaller particles. They tend to...
flock together?
Yeah, flock together. and make a bigger sort of like clump. It's what actually Gwyn was looking at the Delta. Yeah, just it's a term used for a lot of stuff. So sediment comes down with other materials, it tends to stick together to make larger, larger particles. Here, this is probably blowing out from the vents, so they're basically bacteria that was in the seafloor.
Cool.
Changing rocks into different types of rocks.
What a dynamic place we live in.
It's definitely much more active geologically and geochemically here than it is on this, you don't see rocks doing a bunch of stuff.
On the surface?
Yeah, like in your backyard, you're not expecting a rock to do something.
That is true.
Here they're growing rock.
Yeah, that'd be a
Pardon
good idea.
Here you're growing rock.
I'm
Can you
growing
change
rock.
the camera there on from bow to port side route?
That's a nice looking
Football.
vent there.
It is.
But I don't, yeah, might be able to push up. Well, you'll be too close to it, won't you?
Yeah, that'll be a tough one. But maybe.
We've done it a way where you just basically take the porch and push against, and then sort
Yeah,
of
if we were to bring out the porch, maybe we could
push
just-
against it
Yep.
and not actually sit. But we tend not to do it with Hercules, so I imagine there's a reason for that.
Would it be possible to get a zoom on all those
Yeah.
the palm worms?
On the palm worms?
Yeah, if Herc is safe, of course.
Yeah, we can go for a zoom here. Like,
Let me know when.
go for a zoom.
Ooh, look, we've even got limpets and scale worms too. Steve, I was once told, and maybe you confirm, that this is some of the highest biomass in the world in terms of like the density per square inch centimeter. Is that fairly accurate? That it's just really, really dense with biomass?
It sort of depends on where you take your volume, right? So all these numbers like that are always kind of scary to figure out.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you could.
you said,
Yeah.
let's say around Maine and Deverfield. Then you
All
take
right.
the whole area and make
Come
a box.
there,
So
Ashley.
I don't.
Thank you.
Are we
It's a very dense biomass area.
still moving the vessel?
I don't think so.
But if you
Right, you don't want to speak in ultimatums.
We have
yeah, if you take like a
likely targets yet?
an animal farm or some sort, like
This one maybe, but
where
we'd have
chickens
to,
are,
I don't know, it'd be tough at the
or
porch
the
out
back
and
of
maybe.
a truck that's carrying chickens or pigs.
Let's move.
I doubt if it's more than that.
045 might be a little tight, but basically put Atlanta behind
I guess if you're
Herc
thinking
there,
completely natural sort of
10 meters
situations.
behind Herc.
I would assume, yeah. Some folks are noticing that there's trouble with the feed on YouTube. More than welcome to head over to Nautilus live.
Steve, do you want us to try this one?
If you think you can get somewhere, like the priority is to be able to get somewhere we don't,
Yeah.
just struggle for really long periods of time and everybody gets grumpy and
We might be able to porch out and hit
Bridge
I don't
nav?
know. Maybe.
What do you think, Dan? Is this
I
feasible?
We have
Yeah, it might be a
another
little too
10
close here.
meters,
You're getting
045.
stuck
Oh.
way out.
That's not going to happen.
Thank you.
I mean, if you sit this way, you might get in the way. That other section might get in your way. But
Yeah, I gotta get more of an overview before I could. What's it look around from the other side?
So, I don't know, a little bit worse. Not much to...
Thank you for the viewers who are noting the interruptions. I will send alerts as much as I can.
I guess maybe I could land it there. Try landing there.
We've been
We have to bring Atalanta.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Yep.
Monica, our short team has been noticing that too, so I think it's just...
Oh, it wasn't that I doubted people. I just...
No, I know. I'm
yeah.
just saying I think it's been a bit of an issue tonight. Bear with us.
Yes, please.
Like, if you look 135.
don't
so-
adjust your dial.
135.
What dial?
Yeah.
That's how like it always went to commercials. Don't touch that dial. Even
That's
when
what I
we were
meant to say,
kids,
but
like,
didn't remember the right term.
even when remote controls were a pretty normal thing, they would still say that.
Yeah.
Well, how often do you see roll down the window? I mean, I can't remember the last time I cranked down the window.
Depends on
Yeah,
your car.
that's true.
I like that heading for 2 reasons. One, Atlanta will be right behind us. And there's... I don't know. What do you think? To sit up there would be too far down. So if we can see that little where all the kind of palm worms are there. If we put the right side of the porch on that one. Maybe you have to look a little more south at it.
Some viewers are observing that the
Have to look more south.
whole hillside, it
South.
kind of looks like grass, but it is in fact worms.
Oh, this one here.
No, you have to come back away and bring your head back around the south.
Oh, I thought you were talking about going for that vent there.
Oh, the one up there?
Yeah. Seems like a better landing zone. I don't know.
Either one, whatever works. Like I said, it's probably more important to get a good sample than the more spectacular one or whatever.
Yeah. I think in there you're going to lose viz.
Yeah, it's going to be a very smoky zone.
Smokers on all 3 sides and the current changes all around once you get in there with your thrusters. I don't know if we'd have viz. We could try it, but...
I don't know.
So congratulations to Curtis Anstey for getting his paper published
Woohoo! On what?
on, let me read the title here.
Way to go, Curtis.
Ooh, yeah.
Internal waves force elevated turbulent mixing at Barkley Canyon.
Ooh.
Journal of Geophysical
Put the
Research.
porch out.
Right on.
Check.
Is that using ONC data?
Oh yeah. All.
Putting the porch out?
Are you
I
still
hope you
flying?
referenced it, Curtis.
Yeah, I'm still fine. You put the porch out?
Data Stewart is on you.
Yep, both encouraging and mildly threatening from our data stewards.
Not a threat, not a threat.
You
The
better
downlights
have
on
so
too?
did our data.
Around
It's
it.
just, you know,
Can't see anything.
open science.
We were very involved.
That's worse.
I'm a co-author.
Yeah, it's not really good viz there.
Ooh.
Actually, mostly Mike Morley and
To
people
get
that are
a
gone.
little closer.
There's a lot of work.
Push into that bush there.
Our data is dense.
Can you adjust Atalanta heading when you have a chance?
It's too dusty in there.
No, I wanted that to come to the surface. Blast.
Yeah, we'd have that smoker cooking the camera again, and then we're going to have soot all over the camera. We won't be able to see anything afterwards. We already did that once, right?
Some viewers are wondering what we're seeing. What's the fluffy stuff? The orangey sort of fluffy stuff is palm worms.
So,
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
we're just trying to figure out where we can land here, get a sample without getting...
Well, let me know if you need me to shush.
Yeah.
Different angle of the dangle, because it's jutting out at a...
If you spot some little red dots, those are the gills of the tube worms. All the little gray things are limpets and snails. And then the things that look kind of like roly-polies or pill bugs
It's
are
very soft there. That's not going to happen.
scale worms.
No, let's go look around a little bit, see if we can find one that's not
Yep.
in the face.
I'll explore around.
Pull up porch back in.
So many, many different creatures here. In fact, this ecosystem has 60 known species, 14 of which are completely endemic to the hydrothermal vent, Endeavour hydrothermal vent ridge. And perhaps we'll get some zooms in next time we land.
Ooh, what about the one on top there? Don't get too close to start with. Yeah, we need a good overview.
Dan, if you're able, some folks were wondering what the effect of the vent might be on Herc.
The direct one is that it barbecues expensive jewelry on the front of it.
Yes, the old toast in the jewelry.
But it's,
Also, the bottom of the vent looks like a
skull.
skull.
Caustic, so it can damage our camera lenses, damage our sonars. It turns the frame.
It does
black.
look like a skull.
Yeah,
Also our lights. All kinds of
Like one of
bad
those.
things.
Like facing down, kind of.
Like this is the face.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it there.
So basically we're in a chemical reactor, just like
Rename it.
any chemical reactor. There's chemical reactions happening all over the place. So if the chemical reaction decides that it wants a piece of you know, let's say the left manipulator, it takes it and it's shown up as rusting stainless steel, which is kind of interesting.
It's quite the peak.
So I guess if it wants a piece of our camera as well, it'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah.
Let's, did we look around down lower? Is there anything?
We haven't gone down. We went up straight across. That first one looked a little possible, but a little tricky. It would
Yeah,
can't
Go down.
sit.
these are doable. They're gushing so hard.
Those
I don't see where we can perch without it blowing out the upper cameras again, which we did last time, but then we suffered for the rest of the dive with soot all over the upper camera.
What about the first one, Jake? Is that, or am I just looking at the first one in a different angle?
The first one.
The first one we noticed that we thought we could push the porch
It was a little, it would have, the vent would have been
too
coming,
close?
yeah, right up into the brow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smoke down here, so we might find something acceptable down here.
There's
Some folks are wondering, they said,
smoke over here.
can we remount a vent? Because we did that a few years ago. And again, this is now a marine protected area. And so we want to be as minimally invasive as possible. As much fun as it might be to make our own holes and things like that, we are no longer doing that as part of the marine protected area.
This is all flange pool city.
We do still ream for bars where necessary.
We're very, necessary,
Yeah,
totally necessary.
We bring the reamer, we'll put that way. But I think for gas tights and temp probes, we can usually get away without reaming, which is obviously preferred.
Yeah.
Walk around the other side, Jake.
Yep.
Left side. Keep out on altimeter 6. So we can find something there, then we won't have to move the ship again.
And some folks sharing their favorite creatures, including the
There's maybe one below us.
scaly-footed gastropod, which has iron scales.
There's something down there smoking.
Yeah,
Yep.
there is.
Something's on fire.
This is where the iron's coming from.
It's the right spot for Atalanta.
Some folks are wondering how devastating it would be if the Nautilus were to hit a tower. Well, if the Nautilus were to hit a tower, we'd be in big trouble because that is about 2,000 meters below the surface, and we'd be pretty low. If Herc were to hit one, if it's
What do you think
solid,
of that, Steve?
it could cut.
I think it'll
cause a lot
fall
of
apart
damage.
on us.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's sort of, it's not very straight. It's coming out from the side.
these are all delicate flange pools, but
Yeah, they're not.
still seeing smoke coming out from the left down there.
But I think that's that's probably mixed with seawater.
Yeah, all the beehive on top of it.
And some folks wondering if there's any macrofauna like isopods or vent mussels. Not as far as we've seen. There are sometimes fish, but they're not very big. They are quite small. They hide in the tube worms.
Well, there's spiders and
the spider crabs
and snails and.
Yeah, the spider crabs and snails, but they're not as big as the mussels, are they?
No, they're on the actual. The spiders are picnogonids are on the actual. They're in that bush. There'll be some there. Little spiders and little.
But they're spider crabs. No. Like they're not arthropods. They're not spiders. Spiders, are they?
They're picnogonids, whatever they are.
Picnogonids, yeah. Yeah.
Not seeing any likely suspects here.
But as a rule, the tube worms are the biggest fauna here. Is that correct?
They are arthropods, though.
Oh, picnogonids are arthropods. Yep. Thank you. So they are spiders.
Yes, for spiders.
Rats. I'd like a spider-free environment, please. Just one. Good luck.
So there's another worn bush. Shows, makes you think a ROV is sat there for some reason, but
yeah,
maybe not.
Some venting fluid back there. You see some shimmering back in there, but no smoke.
Here's some tube worms. With their gills. That's cool. Some folks are wondering how devastating the smoke might be to us. And as
Oh, there we go.
Dan and Jake have mentioned, the smoke can cause, for lack of a better term, soot on our camera, which makes it really hard to see.
Little smoker.
It looks like these are, yeah.
Up above you.
I'm starting to get around the
Yeah, we're halfway around now.
halfway around the.
But if we're gonna move Atlanta, we gotta.
Could you sit on this? Whoop.
That bush.
Oh,
Yeah.
that flange pole above us. That guy's, I don't know, can you get a closer look? There's all the other flanges there above us. It's gonna be.
Yeah, see, these are all kind of flange pools that already have mixed with somewhat with seawater.
It's not ideal.
No, that's what, yeah, we'd probably temperature probe it and find it not, and we've wasted a bunch of time.
Back up to the top, I think.
Back up.
Well, that thing's blowing right there. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that looks more like a hot thing. Like, you just tell, there's nothing, it's not being pushed out, there's a heat, its buoyancy is making it rise, right? So you can sort of tell when it's hot.
It is blowing.
That's the same one.
That's the one that's at the top. That's the first one we looked at, I think.
Yeah.
We're just at a different
So we're thinking
perspective.
of pushing in here. But
Yeah?
it's too close. I think, well, that's what,
Well, and you're not, okay, there? Like
that's an idea.
a little in from the flange, so it's not quite so precarious.
Well, to move Atlanta before you even try it.
Yep.
Well, the other thing we could do if we decide that this is going to be too much of a
Just go
pain.
check out North Tower.
Exactly. I mean,
Well, it's your call, Steve, I think.
well, no, it's more of you know, it's a time issue.
Yeah.
It's always
I think
a
if we
time
can make
issue.
this work,
We're here.
we're here. This
but
looks
we need
good.
we need more of the Dan, Jake, Lynette team
to
Fair prize.
assess the feasibility of this.
Do you want?
Yeah,
It's kind of like that phone. Do you choose to take this mission or not?
20 meters. We'll have to put in a move 20 meters east to try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that angle there is not too terrible. I'd rather be kind of below it, but
I mean, it's not a treat on top of North Tower either, so.
No, you could just be trading one fast.
It's a little flatter up top there, like it's right at the top.
More southerly.
Quit trying to sell.
I feel.
Quit trying to sell me.
Yeah, some that angle there.
You want to try a
But much better than that, I don't know.
That looks like a great smoke
I
there.
put Atalanta behind
And
us
it's a
and
good.
go for it.
Steve, do these
bridge
hydrothermal
nav?
vents? Oh,
I think this side's better than the other side, don't
Yep.
Can we have 20 meters east, please? Thank you.
you? I think we can get it.
do they tunnel
Get a
into the
toe on
earth, or are they just on the surface?
Want to
pressed?
porch out?
They're just on the surface.
I'll wait till the ship.
Well,
moves
they're-
toward
they're-
the mainland, 'cause it'll just jerk
you know,
you around the whole time.
There's lining, so it's a crack. So it's a fracture of some sort in the. So you got rock,
Look at some things.
and the rocks are
Yeah,
all
go look at
cracking
some.
because this is what that swarm of earthquakes was doing, is just making little cracks in the rock. They're not really big lava flow or anything like that, but they're cracking the rocks, and then it allows passageways of fluid to seep into the rock and then get heated and shoot back up. And when it shoots up through, in the seafloor, there's no oxygen,
You got are you?
which is the master chemistry, basically. And it just strips a bunch of minerals and chemicals off the actual rock, and then
Brings it up here.
brings it up here and hits oxygen, and it starts making,
Technique I was
these
using was
sulfide
to go about
structures.
there.
Things start reacting.
Then,
It's a chemical
go back
reactor,
and
as I
push
said
in.
before, and
You
these
gotta
things
back
grow
away to
because
get your
they're
lights on it.
things are
And come
changing
down.
so
I'm getting
fast.
tugged a bit.
Yeah, you're not. Come back around and put your tail on Atalanta. There's plenty of
And
stuff to.
when you get
look
that
at.
kind of chaotic, crazy area, certain things meet up with certain other things, and
Can't
you
have any
suddenly
external
have
forces
two
when you
berms
do
and
that,
life.
but you'll just blow
So
it
that's
out.
a big thought, is that this is the way life started on it's probably the best theory. That this is where life started on Earth.
Not a bolt of lightning into a pool of goo?
Well, lightning wouldn't hurt, but you
Okay.
need lightning too. If you got it. But that's the same sort of idea, something really outstanding happening, and a bunch of different chemistry around, and some chemistry got together, and suddenly there's Monica.
Bacteria. Suddenly, Monica. Well, I'd like to think I'm, several billion years of evolution.
Well, sometimes several billion years is suddenly.
Yeah, suddenly, Monica. Yeah. Really? This is the peak? Yep, this is the peak. Okay.
So far.
That's true. I could evolve at
I'll
any moment.
Tilt up a bit for you again.
I'm thinking
think you're
Get it
evolving
back
every
away,
day,
get the
Monica.
light sucking you in.
I mean, I now have my sea legs. That was a great evolution.
It's a beautiful moment in the cruise.
Right?
Kept talking about putting lights looking up, and we haven't.
Steve,
We had tiltable lights.
Yeah?
the seismometers, which waves are they measuring? P waves, S waves, or ground displacement? Or, yes.
All.
All, yes. Great.
Any acceleration. Any movement.
If it moves, we know.
Mostly fin whales and blue whales.
You push in there a bit.
Or the
nicely.
seismometer?
Oh,
Yep.
Just pass it through.
Could you elaborate?
There are pressure waves in the seawater at 30 hertz.
From them singing?
Yep.
Okay.
The bane of seismologists.
Whales.
Yeah.
Now, there's something I never would have pieced together.
No, you can. Since there's so many out there, you can track the whales with them.
Huh.
And then, of course, there's all these interesting things that the Earth does on its own, like vibrate.
Is it a regular vibration?
Yep. You ought to look at a seismograph.
I did. It
Good
just
shot.
looks wiggly.
Look at a closer, smaller area.
Cool.
And just you'll see that there's a standard sort of shaking that occurs because of the waves breaking on the seashore.
Huh. Well, thank you for that.
Microseisms.
Pardon me?
Microseisms. So it's got a wiggle in it. The BPR will show it to you clearly. And that's at 1 second, so they're longer than 1 second. And then there's ocean hum.
Is that because the ocean doesn't know the words?
Yeah, it just vibrates away because of, I don't know, all those cars driving around.
Right, the sea cars.
No, it's the whole Earth kind of shakes.
Cool.
Did you all mention something about like R waves and S waves? Did I invent that in my head?
I think Rayleigh waves for R waves, I guess.
Okay.
S waves are like shear waves.
Okay.
So you get the direct, somewhere in the middle of the Earth or somewhere, not obviously in the middle of the Earth, but near to the surface of the Earth, but deep down, you'll get a break in rock and a shift, and that'll start shaking, and you get a direct sort of wave that's compressing the rock, and it's a pressure wave through rocks, and that's like the first wave, usually called the P wave, which could be pressure wave or primary wave.
Okay.
And then another wave comes out of it, which is basically the shear wave, or the secondary wave. It's S, and that's a slower traveling wave. So that's the second one, and then the one that is like basically hits the surface of the let's say the seafloor between the ocean, and it runs along the ocean floor, which is a Rayleigh wave. So that's probably the R wave.
Okay.
And that's the slowest, and that's the one that causes like damage if you happen to have a little building on the seafloor.
That's the shaky wave?
There.
Yeah.
What do we got there? They're all under a giant freaking lamp.
I mean, sometimes the shear wave does the same thing, but I think it depends on where the wave is. But you can see the three sort of phenomena.
We get to those from the right?
Neat.
Where are those the ones we looked at?
Someone's asking about where's the display for that kind of data? And
Where's the what?
The display for that kind of data, and a couple of answers. So one is Ocean Networks Canada's data portal. You can go in there and you can get, well, 1.6 terabytes of data.
But it won't be any seismographs.
Won't be any seismographs? They got
No, you gotta go to IRIS.
Okay, you go to IRIS to get the seismographs. The other place I was going to direct was to the earthquake data dashboard.
Are any of those, do you think those are diffused there, Steve?
Yeah, they don't look that great, do they?
I don't know.
No, you can sort of measure the heat in your head by the fact that it's just sort of
The
you're gonna
volume
have a lot more.
and velocity.
There'll be a lot of
the
work trying to.
flow.
Then you'll be reaming and trying to get down to where it was coming from.
Right.
Well, what do you think?
I'd
You
like
don't like that top one? You want to go over to North Tower?
We do. We're just moving the.
We're gonna move
get
to the
out
RP.
behind us.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just about
I
there.
mean,
We have
do you-
another 5 meters or so of swing on Atalanta. And
We could probably head back to the.
Would it be possible to zoom in
Possible
on some of
victim.
these critters?
Sorry.
So
I missed
Sorry,
that.
heading back to.
Yeah, back up.
do we know how these overhangs form? Like
The
where
zoom
the
doesn't
flange
work.
pools form?
Yeah, it's the. You see how the fluid comes around the edge of them there? So as it comes around the edge and cools, it deposits
Okay, and
And
it just keeps building out and out and out.
Yeah, they just grow.
Yeah,
And then
It's like the opposite of erosion.
Yeah.
then the critters land on top of them and take over, and
I think it's just
pretty
basically
insane, eh?
a little bit cooler vent, and then you start forming over on top of the vent. The vent doesn't want to shoot straight up out of there, so it's basically now getting blocking itself by, and then it it builds these flanges, I guess.
Gosh, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But you can see there's the hot one up there, and then the other ones they're lower temperature, and then you're basically, instead of building a cone that's going up, you're building right on top of yourself.
Yeah.
And then you start spreading out around the stuff you just built.
Okay, I'm gonna
Definitely
porch out.
anthropomorphizing vent fluid, but
If I can find it.
you go around it and then you keep on building this flange, I guess.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This tower looks like a Christmas tree.
So I would put the left part of your, try and put the vent right in the center.
Yeah.
I feel like my Christmas tree would look better with tube worms on it.
You're tilted way up. You want me to tilt down, or you got
Yeah, tilt down for me.
Use gummy worms as a stand-in.
You're a thinking man's man, AJ.
I'm gonna retract so you get more of a
Maybe
bigger
this is
view.
another gummy to create alongside the siphonophores.
Siphonophore gummies.
Yeah,
We
and
could
tube
do
worm
tube worm
gummies.
gummies. If one of us, I don't know how you mold gummy.
Cornstarch.
Sugar.
Cornstarch.
But can you just do it in any mold? Because we can just start 3D printing our own molds.
You could, but cornstarch works better. So what you'd need to do is 3D print like a press.
Yeah.
So instead of having a mold that goes down, you'd have a mold that presses in. And then you take a tray of cornstarch, and you push it in, and you make like a spot in the snow,
Grab it.
and then
Right.
you pour your liquid gummy in there and let it cool.
Oh.
This is very doable.
Is it reusable, or does the outer edge of the cornstarch
A little tiny bit.
become gummy?
No, a little bit would stick, but then you brush it off.
Okay.
And so it is consumed, but it is not, the whole tray is not consumed.
I see.
You'd have many use out of your cornstarch.
Yeah.
So if we 3D print what we want the final gummy to look like,
Yep.
we can use that to
As a
create
s-
our
As a stamp into the cornstarch.
into the cornstarch.
Yeah.
Lights come up.
All right, all
and
right.
we just have to boil the sugar to be, well, you had sugar and gelatin and you boil it.
You'll want a little ahead.
This
How
is
do-
very doable.
How do you get the color?
Food coloring. Or
Okay.
the Tears of Your Enemies, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Okay, all right, just checking.
You gave me the choice, right?
Right. We can even add flavors. You could make it like sulfur flavor, or more commonly cherry.
Sulfur flavor.
I mean,
think
really,
you guys got a winning product there, sulfur flavored gummies.
That looks like a good setup, doesn't it? That's a nice distance.
Yeah, could happen.
A little smoky for...
some viewers are noticing that the flange pools and all these structures remind them of upside down cave structures, and they're formed in a not dissimilar way. With
Okay, you want a full zoom there? We'll get a shot of it before we...
Instead of the minerals
Nice.
dripping from above, they're blowing in from the bottom.
yeah, and Maranke was telling me yesterday that some of the structures, the newest structures, they can grow several centimeters a day. They're very, very weak, but they can grow quickly, whereas cave structures would grow several centimeters a century.
Wow.
I don't know if you want downlights off for this.
Maybe. Try it.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Oh, I'm all the way irised up.
Oh, yeah, we're just maybe... Well, the smoke is obscuring the light. Light doesn't go...
Should I back out a little? Maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, someone says we should do sea pig
We
flavor
got what we
gummies.
get.
Sorry, it's hard to focus with the
Yeah,
current.
the vent fluid is obscuring all the lights on the starboard side of the ROV. And half the ones on the left.
It's not great.
You happy going for that one? Back belt.
Yeah, I think we're happy.
Yep.
All right.
I'll go get on the temp probe.
Thanks, Ashley.
Head
The
back
next-
out.
Yeah,
Can we
I'm
get a
gonna turn
position
the
here too if this is where we're
We
going
downlights
to
are
Sure
done.
can.
I'm gonna turn the downlights on.
Thank
because
you.
We're gonna see to get
Oh,
our
okay,
toys out
welcome.
here. It's gonna be kind of ugly. But
Retract back.
Can I reset your DVL?
Yeah.
Cool.
before I start this, is that yours?
Yeah.
Just gonna take a quick shot of the gauges. Make sure we're all good here. If I can even see them.
Sound check.
Gauges are...
Check, check, check.
Check, check.
Yeah, can hear you.
All right.
Gauges are good.
Some folks are wondering what the temperature is, and AJ is on it. We will let you know shortly.
You guys are good to go and grab the temp probe whenever you're ready.
Oh,
Roger.
then I'll grab that position. I think this is 25, sample 25.
Get racked back,
oh,
are you?
Yep,
is it
racked back.
25?
Ashley, can
Yeah,
you
'cause
come
we
wide
did-
on the
Yeah.
23 was the Niskin, 24 was the
Thank
gas
you.
type. Oh, right.
You come full
Roger,
wide. We're
thank
gonna
you.
try and pick up
You're
the
welcome.
temp probe off the porch there that I can't see.
I'm gonna. Oh, I might actually want to rack out and look down.
You might want to. Yeah, that's what I did for you.
Do you have what you need here, Data? I do. Thank you Awesome. so much. You're welcome.
Uh-oh. Can you, here, I'll do it. Hydraulics.
There you go.
Finger on the button here.
Got that?
Yeah, it seems to be behaving.
Just in the corner on Zeus. Right. Ball.
Roger, thank you.
One, two, three. 3 cameras.
Still an armpit grab.
Nope.
Swing and a miss. Grab I want, but
All right, I'm gonna move the camera.
leave me the grab I can deal with. Go for the smear.
Is that probe on? Is that probe on now, AJ?
It's coming on.
Okay.
Ambient temperature is 3.5 degrees Celsius.
Thank
I'll
you.
start reading once it changes from ambient.
All right, you want to show me the vent?
Yep.
Not real thrilled with that grab.
Should be able to zoom there a bit. Or, well, when Dan says, I guess.
Yeah, you can zoom in on the tip of the probe there. zoom for me?
Cinema, you gotta go a little farther back.
Or you can center the camera up so she can
Oh,
zoom
yeah.
right in. Oh, look, it's in cinema camera too.
Yeah.
Did
Can I
you?
zoom on that?
Did you? Now it's already zoomed in.
Oh.
It's a great view for our viewers to see all those cameras and how talented our ROV
Is it?
pilots are with all the different
Yeah.
distances.
Tilt down just a little for me.
Tilting down. A bit too much. Are we moving? We're moving a bit.
Alright. It's opening.
Come wide on video.
Maybe just spin your joy gain up a little. Ah, you got.
There's like a slight lateral.
Yeah.
It's coming back around. Lock in.
I know what it is. Atlanta's pulling on us.
Oh.
We need
Can
to
we
move.
come?
No, let's move. I don't know, 135, 15 meters.
135, 15 meters.
And put Atalanta 15 meters behind Hercules. I think that's too far away. Want to be closer.
Yeah, you want to do more like 160?
Yeah, roger. 160, 15 meters.
Bridge nav. Can we have 15 meters, 160, please? Thank you.
Zoom in on the tip again. Maybe we'll stay stable enough for a reading here.
What do we have there, AJ?
Still ambient, but let's see if the next reading comes out hot.
Oh yeah, it's every 15 seconds.
Oh,
Is that it?
257.3.
Nice.
It went from 3.3 to 257.3. You got that, Steph?
Yep, got it. Thank you.
One 185.2.
185.2.
I think I went all the way through it. Let me back up here a bit. Can't tell where the tip is. There it is.
$63.9. 63.9.
63.9.
Yeah, I went through it.
342.5.
342.5. Got it. Thank you.
That's hot.
That's very hot. That's hotter than the other one.
You hear that, Steve?
342.5.
Yeah, that's more what
Oh, it'd be nice. That's nice.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's a good size hole now.
Yeah, perfect for
We're still,
260.0.
the vessel,
Sorry, AJ,
Hercules
can't
is moving around a bit because
Yep.
we're moving Atalanta, so
Yeah, 260.0.
yeah, I pulled out of it. You can see the Hercules tail
If I
wiggling.
come up, it'll get a little bit better, right? Because it's
Nope.
No.
10.4, we're out now.
Yeah, I'm out of it for
Yeah.
sure.
Steph, I'll hold off until we're back in it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And we're just going to wait for the vessel move there before I can get a good reading.
AJ, why 15 seconds before each reading?
And wait for her to stop moving.
I can't hear you very well, but I think you asked why it takes so long.
Well, I just wanted to ask why 15 seconds, but I didn't actually feel it was a long time. I just was curious why that's the chosen time.
Well, so this Jeb-created temperature probe is actually our recovered bars unit, which still had a functional temperature sensor inside. So we repaired, well, I played no part in this. He repaired the wand and put it in the temp probe sleeve from the ROV. And he's using the same electronics from the bars to digitize the data, and the, I guess, control board or whatever you would call it on the bars takes samples every 20 seconds, I think it is, 15 or 20 seconds, because it's intended to sample for a very long time.
On a battery.
On a, well, no, they're cabled typically.
Originally they were battery though.
Yeah, some of them are battery powered, but I guess that was the sampling frequency of the unit, and so we're a bit stuck with that.
I see. And for those viewers who are wondering, this is indeed centigrade. So our highest reading so far has been 342.5.
Do you want more reading,
Yes.
Steve, or are you happy with that 340 reading?
You're basically ready to go again, right?
No, I'm out of it. We're moving Atalanta behind. I need Atalanta behind her,
But
so it's not pulling its tail
You don't
around.
need to move. All you do right now is pull out the actual gas tight, right?
Yeah, we can wait a few seconds here. You see how
I
it's
mean,
moving back and forth in the
It'd be
camera?
nice to see if this one goes. Will it go? You know how we kind of leveled out
Yeah.
with the other one. It could be a 360, and that'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
just a minute here.
If we're waiting for a move, it would be great to get a zoom on those palm worms.
Go for
Yeah,
it,
they're
Nick.
right there.
Toggle it.
They can't seem to.
Laterals.
And look at there's a tube worm. That looks like limpets on that tube worm, but I don't know what that is actually on that tube worm. Snails? He's got infested.
come in and out of stick lock and take the lateral out.
Yeah.
Looks like another wand coming in.
Because the forward will keep, as it wiggles around.
Yeah.
Are those the
it won't
ones?
reverse one of your thrusters
Awesome.
so bad. You should be able to get it. Beauty. That's what we want. High teens forward and auto heading and Atalanta behind us.
I think I've managed to contact Marv anyway, so that's good.
Hey,
He'll be
Marv.
getting up.
Wakey, wakey.
At least he's answered my text.
It's all right, it's 7 o'clock. Jeez,
Yep.
he's sleeping.
Well, I just realized I can actually text him.
Can you?
Yeah, well, it worked. He answered.
I guess maybe if you both have iPhones, then it'll work, because it'll automatically iMessage. We have no cell reception here, Steve.
No, I know, but I got
iMessage.
Internet.
VoIP. I can call.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
What the heck?
but I can't get a two-factor authentication because it knows I'm not a real number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you'd
I
be
had
able
to
to
come up
text
just
me.
a bit. That probably moved you. We were just touching the tether there.
Yeah.
Video, I'm just curious for conversation check. Is this as
Couldn't get any
as zoomed as
sweeter
we
than
get?
that, I think.
Not, I don't think we're full zoom right now, but pretty close.
Let's see.
ROV, are you okay if we go full zoom on these palm worms?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we're full zoom already.
Oh, whoops, I was wrong. We are full zoom.
This
Okay,
is full
no worries.
zoom.
No, it's all good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, look at him.
Just dancing.
Deep sea wacky wavies.
Can we center the clump of
You
wormies?
can show me the vent now because I'm ready to probe it.
Oh, back to the vent.
Vent time.
But we can get palm worms and vent.
Ooh.
How's that for a double task?
Ooh.
Beauty.
And
I
a
like
two
that.
burn back there.
Check that out.
That's pretty cool. That's a really cool view of that vent. Interestingly, this temp probe heats up a lot faster than it cools.
Oh, we're getting ready to insert again.
Yeah, I'm paying attention. I'll let you know the first time there's a high reading.
One of our viewers is saying that you can even see precipitate already where the vent has broken off. I guess it's that kind of black dust. Someone's put in a question about the evolutionary migration. How related are these?
107.4.
Let me hold that thought.
107.4.
Sorry, Molly, I'm just going to read them out when they come.
Yeah, no, I'll hold my thought till it's over.
Well, you have 15 seconds.
I can't do it in that time.
Oh. 182.4.
182.4.
Oh,
Thank
come
you.
on, it's hotter than that. We know that. Melt the tip of the probe here. Again.
The anticipation.
Killing me.
171.1.
Yeah. So even in the vent, you can get, like it's hotter towards the edge or the center, I forget which, but you can vary that much in the pipe.
I think it's just time.
192.1.
192.1.
Sucking seawater in with it.
One 195.6.
195.6.
You can see the vent fluid deflecting around the probe.
What's the reference saying?
7.2.
Surprised it's not going faster than that.
217.9.
Yeah, so it's hotter towards the back of the...
Two 224.8.
Jesus, slow.
It's going up at least.
Come on, craft, don't do it to me now.
261.9.
261.9.
That's a good jump. 40 degrees.
Is the bender off? Jake, is the bender still off?
Marv asked, can you get it vertical? And it's sort of the same thing I was actually thinking.
Just turned it off.
277.9.
277.9.
I can at the risk of breaking the probe, but I could get a little more vertical.
Breaking the probe, like how?
Like breaking the cable.
Oh, got it. I just don't
There's
see
a
that.
splice in the cable.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're being, I can get more vertical.
Just to answer that question I put a pause on a few minutes ago, have they been able to genome local flora fauna to study these creatures, and are they related to an alternative vent? The answer is partially and sorta, and the reason for that is that we know there are about 60 species at these vents, and 12 of which are endemic to just Endeavour Ridge. So knowing that they're only found at Endeavour Ridge, which is of course done through genome sequencing to know that it's totally unique to anything else. But again, every time we come down here, we find something new or we see a different creature. And I know Moronke, who's one of the folks on board, she's looking at bacteria and those types of things. So I would hate to give you any permanent definitives. There's always going to be more. But it is a great question.
Let's see what this next temperature is. 355.8.
Oh.
355.8?
Yeah, that's a PV.
That's what I was expecting it to be a bit higher than. Keep it in there, I guess.
Yeah, let's see if it changes. .1.
Right up against the wall there, or the cooler in the middle of the stream than it is against the wall.
What was that temp, AJ?
359.1. 364.2.
Marv says there's too much seawater mixing at the top,
Yeah.
meaning that when we're a little bit close to the edge, it's...
Yeah, I'm touching the edge now.
Yeah, but you're in so it's no seawater.
365.0.
Okay, that's 3 in the 360s. You happy there?
Marv, you happy? We got 365.0. That's a record for my my knowledge of what we've been doing since 2010.
362.7. So it's holding pretty well.
Hot.
How deep are we in?
I don't know. 25 millimeters.
363.7.
Sorry, AJ, can you repeat?
363.7.
Thank you.
I would say I'm definitely touching the back wall with the probe, so I'm in along the forward wall, the closest wall to us, and
So it can't
touching
really
the
mix.
back wall.
So we're down at least an inch or 25 centimeters or 25 millimeters.
8.7.
Yeah.
358.7.
I'd say we must be clear of any mixing on top.
AJ,
If I come back
358.7.
out, you can see
Thanks.
here
Yeah.
how far we were in.
Yeah, you can see a nice little mark on there.
.364.3.
So
Yeah, we were a
in.
good inch in there.
Good inch,
Yeah. It's pretty. And we're out 262.8.
We're out.
All right. That's great.
Did I hear a record, you said, Steve?
Just my record, my personal record, personal best. There's some other numbers that get higher, and I think there's some things that go wrong with the measurement
Go
devices.
wide on the upper camera, please. Jim.
Upper camera, going wide.
Some folks are wondering about the floaty red thing in the background. That is just another species of tube worm. That's the Regia pacifica worm. And is it actually that color? Is it chemically caused? It's that color red because of the hemoglobin that it uses to breathe oxygen out of the water to create its food. And how large are these worms? About the size of a drinking straw, wouldn't you say, Steve? A Slurpee straw?
The diameter, I guess.
Well, and the length. Like they're not
No,
terribly
they're way
long.
longer.
They're way longer?
Yeah.
Like a How long? How many centimeters?
How many straws deep?
80.
80 straws? Wow.
Well,
Really?
the vestimentiferan worms or the palm worms. Palm worms are not long, but
Palms are quite short, but the tube worms.
Best temp probe holster ever.
yeah,
A piece
they're
of
long.
4-inch channel.
Depending on wherever they want to get their heads, they grow to that size. But yeah, they're 50 centimeters.
50 centimeters long. There you go.
I don't know what this one's all covered with a bunch of stuff.
So depending on where it starts, it could be
Yeah, it's got to latch on to something.
right. But they are significantly smaller than the ones we see in the Galapagos.
I've never seen any in the Galapagos. Have you?
The tube worms there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big ones.
Never been there.
Okay, I've seen them on TV.
Reported, I guess.
Yes.
But I'm just going by what I saw on the bench.
There you go.
Just grabbed into the bush, haul them out. And they're like big 50 centimeter long.
Cool. What would you say the average is?
I'm going to try something here.
The heading
50 centimeters.
All right, all right.
If you
PID
can,
gains aren't
and the
quite right, I don't think.
crabs really love them.
Crabs really low. Cool.
You put them in the bio box, and then there's crabs all over the bio box. They're ready to
Gotta crank up the proportional maybe on the heading.
eat them.
And
Maybe 2,000 or something, I don't know.
Oh,
some
yeah.
of our viewers are saying that Riftia, I think I called it a Rigia, but it's a Riftia, could be over a meter long, or pardon me, have a half a meter long. And they're
Which
also
ones? Littler, longs,
Or
little.
change the other ones
the long
back
ones,
to
the red
2,000?
one.
I think the Z is good that way because you don't want to,
Too much?
yeah,
Yeah, roger.
like you want to come down slowly. You'd rather it take a while.
Just took a picture of that.
AJ, do the minerals
Jake's PID.
precipitating
Jake
on
and
the
Dan's
thermometer
PIDs.
have an effect on
Jake
it?
and Dan's PIDs.
That's a good question. I don't
Everybody
know.
else.
Cool.
Pound mud.
We'll just, yeah, I'll add a button there. It'll say Jake and Dan.
Jake and Dan were here.
Yes.
Changing stuff.
What's interesting is that after we took that temp probe out of the tube, the reference temperature rose quite dramatically to then match the tip temperature, such that both are at 100 degrees right now. I don't know if that's indicative of a probe failure, or if that just has to do with, it didn't happen last time that way.
No, I think we probably just heated up the whole
Well, because we
titanium,
were more vertical.
and we just heated the whole thing up,
Yeah.
and so
Because they are
the joint where the reference temperature is measuring, that's farther back up the cable.
They are cooling together.
Yeah.
It's just the hottest I've ever seen the reference temperature. So,
Are you saying we're cooking
watching
Herc?
it.
Where's that reference temperature coming from?
It's not that far back. It's
It's at
just
the handle, not
Oh, right.
like yeah.
Yeah, so we modified it again slightly. We put a longer piece of, well, the other crew put a 1/4-inch stainless steel tubing around the probe, and then we put a longer piece of, I think it's 1/2 inch, or the next size up over that, what you see in the tip there, and then that all runs up into that aluminum block where the ball is. So there's open channels between the probe and the first piece of tubing, and then between the second piece of tubing and third piece of tubing, or the first piece of tubing and second piece of tubing, and all those are probably, I don't know, 1/2 meter long, and then they all terminate in that big aluminum block at the top. And you're saying that's where your reference temperature is?
Yeah, and those temperatures are falling together now. They're coupled, and they're down at 48 degrees Celsius. So,
Interesting.
I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens if they get hot, or if one of them gets hot and the other one stays, or if now they're coupled for whatever reason, which could indicate something
Toggle your
wrong.
auto head now, Jake.
But still seems to be accurate.
Yeah,
And
you don't
That hadn't
have any,
happened when we were taking our peak readings, so those readings I think
You
are
need
still
more.
valid.
Still not quite holding.
Yeah, you need more ahead on, because if one's forward and one's backwards, it can never, it'll sit there and wander.
Steve, do you know if the vents are providing any
If they're
nutrients
both
to the
ahead.
surrounding seawater?
So give more.
Well,
ahead,
if you mean nitrogen,
like 20% or
It
so.
says nutrients. I read nutrients, so if nitrogen's a nutrient, then I do mean that.
generally you call it, nutrients in
Yeah,
oceanography
you want
is
them both
usually
positive all
things
the
like
time.
nitrogen and stuff you
Typically,
feed your
then
plants
it'll
with.
find a spot because they're both pushing into the hill.
Yeah.
If one's going backwards,
I'm sure there's, well, it's
just
providing
gonna wag its
energy.
tail all day.
That's the main thing it's
I might-
doing. It's the life here is based on.
So whenever
You
you're
can
ready, we
also
can grab that gas
have
tank.
the velocity
So if you have
turned way
that
down.
general term nutrients, there's definitely
Okay.
But
the
I
reason
don't-
there's animals here is because
That's
of
probably all right.
the chemistry
Yeah.
I
coming
don't know.
out
I
of
feel
the
like it's used
vents.
to be 3,000, but let me just try.
But whether it's not the same nutrients as like nitrogen, I don't think is a big factor here.
And then there's another great question. How can something live around those temperatures? They just
Yeah,
do.
Looks like better numbers to
Look
me.
at them. Living.
Well, the temperature drops off so fast that actually outside of that vent, it's pretty close to ambient. seawater
Okay,
temp.
are we ready to get the gas
Yeah, I
tank
don't
on over?
Yep, we're ready on this end.
Yes, we are.
I could look at the beautiful vent all day, but we're going to have to zoom out to
I hate to
rack
be
back.
argumentative, JJ, but some of those creatures look like they're pretty darn close to the hot.
That's true.
You want to
What was that peak temp
rack
I
back.
got there?
Racking back.
I think the records are like 80 degrees that they can do.
nice
Sorry,
gentle zoom.
365.
365. Okay, great. Hulk temp.
These kind back here, of course, there's and can do a lot
And what number gas tight is this going to be?
bigger range.
This is number 17,
17.
the white one.
Okay.
Yeah, the first thing I'll do is pull the trigger.
Hey, Steve. Steve.
What's up?
Steve. Thank you. AJ, you look downright offended. I love it.
I was going for shocked.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, you can box out.
Box out.
Box out a bit. That's good. And yeah, go ahead and box out some more, see if that thing stays there. Easier grab out here.
Yes. My beans, yes,
Just a
please.
Tilting up.
bit, just a bit.
Of course, I wouldn't have confessed they were here if if I didn't want you to have them. Help yourself.
Nice and slow.
Anybody else needs coffee beans, chocolate covered?
No, thank you.
Happy to share. Oh, no charge. Yep, Steve, alrighty. Bean you up, Scotty. Oh, one's an M&M, two's an M&M. Careful for those.
Or no?
Yeah, I think so.
And
Get on it.
got some folks confirming that
Can't tell if they're all the way shut or not there.
some animals much prefer the 80 to 90 Celsius.
Okay, you can close.
Closing box.
Just gonna do a rotate here and see if we got it for sure.
Extending. I shall wait for you to finish.
I think I got it.
Extending.
Roger. Zoom back in on the upper. You get a chance.
Zoom back in.
Steve, have you ever seen any cephalopods here? Octopus, squid?
On event?
Yeah.
No.
No,
You
no
can,
cephalopods.
zoom in on the HD a bit if you want.
They're smart.
Want me to keep going?
Sure. Come back in tight.
Tilting up. See, that's in there.
Whoa, that is all the way in. Jeez, goes forever.
Must be a very straight shaft.
Let's not break it.
Well, it's nice if I can set the end of the instrument down on the vent so when Jake pushes on it, it doesn't, or when I push on it, because I'm just whistling Dixie here.
Yeah.
Okay, zoom out on the upper.
Oh, upper.
Yeah. See the Orion again. You can go wide on the HD for a minute.
That's nothing. Back in my day, we got it up to 400. Yeah.
So Steve, there's a viewer has written in here that Vulcanoctopus hydrothermalis is a vent octopus, but it's found on the East Pacific Rise. And there's little known about it, a couple of pictures, of course. But there is some, but not on these vents so far.
Yeah, I can confirm that I'd never seen one, so
Yeah, no, that
I
was on
prefer
the,
to go for that answer rather than.
Yeah, you were going local. This person's gone global with the East Pacific Rise. And that's the thing, is there are many tube vents.
And is that guy, you know, is he using the heat from it, or is he's just what? There, he's got a bunch of information on the guy. He's a copepod parasite, so copepods aren't on the vents.
He's a predator of amphipod and crab.
Yep. There's the bottom with Alvin capturing. Where does it say that? It says Alvin capturing.
Now I know where I am.
And actually, these gas tights are designed for Alvin and Alvin's wrist actuator. That's why it's so hard to do it this way, because it's actually designed for specific arms, I guess.
Okay, can zoom in on the, or get a little closer there on the HD or on our target, our micro target with our giant finger. Maybe center the camera up there for us, Jake.
Marv says he saw 400 degrees in 1999.
Yeah, beat us. But so that kind of gives us an idea of this whole sort of thing where we're getting, there's a lot of kind of noise on, there was an earthquake swarm and UC floor and stuff like that, but we're in the very beginnings of all that sort of thing. So we were expecting these guys to, presumably 99 is a year before the real stuff has started happening back 20 years ago. So my guess, you know, not scientific, but you know, subjective guess is that we'll start seeing temperatures rising up to maybe whatever 380, 400.
Cool.
And that's why we're doing it, basically.
Yeah.
If it follows the same cycle as it did last time.
I also wonder, like, how much of it is how deep you're willing to get that probe.
Well, we should just get right in there. We should really be. I don't know if it would make any difference.
Right? Like, if the ROV would have to sort of choke up to get more, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of mechanics involved.
We just bend it.
Bend the probe?
Yeah. So just, it's got a hook in it. And then we'll decide it's always got to be 6 inches in or something like that.
Yeah. Oh,
because the probe, the actual thermocouple is like totally flexible. Mm-hmm. It's just that sheath, the protective sheath is. But maybe that's a good idea. Oh.
Make the sound effect. Water rushing in it.
How does that look?
I don't know that it moved.
Oh, it moved, all right.
It totally moved, yeah.
So we're well in there, so we couldn't have got knocked out.
We're well in there.
Okay, I see. There's another shot there. Okay.
That was a beaut.
Yeah, super deep.
Zoom in on the O-ring.
These
there,
ones are
see
stiff.
if it
Yeah,
actually moved.
Didn't move much. I agree it moved, but
did it just stuck in there?
I wonder if the O-ring sometimes just stays. I guess it's not touching the socket
There's that
heads.
full zoom there. It moved
a little.
See a gap.
Yeah.
I see a gap.
I saw the shaft move as well.
But that's, yeah, give it another shot. That's too little of a move. If that's a move, isn't it? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, might as well.
You're right there. Is this one of ours?
No.
There we go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the O-ring is moving as much as the shaft is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think that's okay.
Like when it comes back so fast that the O-ring
rolls
is not
back.
on tight enough.
Kind of rolls and stretches and then rolls back. That's my theory. It's like it's rolling out. You know what I mean? There's a bit bump in it.
Yeah.
It just wants to roll back.
There's a flat side.
Yeah, and it goes to that flat side. So you need a complete roll of the, and then it goes way out. But I think that won't. I think we've got it.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a good sample.
Cool.
All right, great job.
Nice work.
Next up, we're going to go to the IP.
The IP.
Okay. Show me the tip again. Just make sure we're still doing there.
Yeah, come wide a little bit there, actually.
Then we'll
That's good.
change cameras and put this thing in the starboard box. All of our other trash. Oh yeah, it's still in there. Yep.
Whoa.
See that little flash of chalcopyrite?
Oh, gold.
Shiny.
Oh, gold.
Ooh.
Fool's gold. Can you switch the cameras and open the starboard box for us? I don't think these things fit in the front box, do they? Can zoom right in on that shiny gold. Gold in them Nar Hills. Is that full zoom, is it?
It's full zoom, yeah.
Very shiny.
Box is fully open.
Right. Got distracted by shiny bits.
I don't know that I've ever wanted a rock more. Give me. Pardon me? Yeah, it is a great shot. I do apologize to our video engineer who's getting nothing but highlights from me. The scale worms are beautiful too, actually. That nearly horizontal palm payworm
Good luck getting something out of that box.
on the left.
That's,
That's for future us
yeah.
to deal with. You want to go eat? Did you eat?
I haven't eaten.
Go eat.
No, Danny's probably eating. Come up in a minute.
What's that?
Danny's probably eating.
I can.
I can wait. I can wait.
Or we can sit right here.
Is it possible to look at the worms on the edge of the porch?
The edge of the porch.
Yeah,
Sure.
so if you look down in the other camera, there's
Scale worm. Scale worm. You missed it. They want to look at all those palm worms fighting.
Whoa, what's that one?
that's a scale worm.
Oh.
It's like a roly-poly.
This is like a roly-poly.
Yeah. But yeah, can we look at this the scale worm or pardon me, the palm worm party?
Yep.
Thank you.
What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna do this.
Someone's asking if where hydrothermal vents are found, whether it's exclusive to the Ring of Fire. No, there are places in the world where there are hydrothermal vents.
Here. I'm gonna go get some chow and I'll come
Yeah,
back
go.
and relieve you. All right.
Ooh, look at them.
Oh wow, look at that scale worm.
Yeah. Sorry, to finish that thought, there are places in the world where there are hydrothermal vents that are more shallow. So, for example, in Iceland, there is a place where there's hydrothermal vents that are actually between 16 and 70 meters, and so divers like to go down there. So basically, it's anywhere that water can seep into the Earth's crust, get heated by magma or volcanic activity, and percolate back out.
But they're all spreading centers, so the Ring of Fire is just a spreading center, and so even basically Iceland is on a spreading center, the land base of it, even though it's not underwater. So it's part of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Mid-Atlantic Ridge, but not necessarily the Ring of Fire.
No, the Ring of Fire seems to be the term used for the spreading center
They're gonna eat quick.
in are we moving though at all, or?
Waiting on the relief from the pilot. Second pilot.
Okay, so we can just basically control the cameras all over the place, and you guys are.
Yep.
We can do small little moves. Well, let's explore this then while we're here.
Come wide, Ashley.
So some of the gray ones are also scale worms, as are the red ones. I wonder if they're different species or if they're the same species with different colors.
And right. What the hell is that? I don't want that.
Maybe zoom into some of those other, what I don't even know what they are. They're little
Limpets and snails?
limpets and snails, or
Oh, up here to the left.
yeah, just see what's on there while we've got this opportunity
Yep.
to scan this whole area.
All right, go for zoom.
We could do some mapping. snails and something else. Gastropods and what are the
Little.
that's full zoom, right?
Yes.
I see more of those beautiful scale worms.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one.
There's one.
Look at him
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, they're fast. But what are the other guys that are the dark ones that aren't
I don't know.
little tails on them? Is that just the neck of the clam? Or the, whatever, what's the other guys there?
Yeah.
Whoa. Those are super cool.
Oops, I put a typo in the name of the capture. Scale worms and thongs. I meant things.
Ooh.
So I wonder if we could map the temperature by looking at what the critters are there. As it getting warmer, as we get these palm worms that are probably more active.
So someone in the chat is wondering if the scale worms molt like crustaceans, and what I know of them is that they are polychaete worms, so that they don't, but again, I know so little. I'm giving you my best info at this time.
Which direction's the IP?
Southwest.
South.
Oh, okay.
We're up here.
It's a bit of a hike.
The AJ Barron humanoid is very, very persistent. He has lost his pen back here.
And Steve, is this all built up on tube worms? Like, are they the foundational species?
I don't know what the succession is actually.
Okay.
It's not. My guess, it's not that well understood. Basically, what I've read is it's extremely fast. So you have a lot of, all these guys are just putting a lot of their larvae into the water column. So as soon as you get, let's say, if you took a shovel right now in front of us and shoveled all those guys off, what would be the first critter that shows back up there? Probably the mobile ones in this case. So
yeah.
But that's the whole idea, is to do something like that. We've had new, like, major eruptions down south on the Juan de Fuca Ridge. The other segments are different than Endeavour, and actually have eruptions where new sort of snow blowers and things like that come out of different cracks, and they're almost, by the time we get an ROV and a ship out there, they've been colonized. So it's really quick.
Very fast.
Yeah, and it's still kind of an open question. I think people probably have speculated on how the larva finds these places, or whether they're just so full of the sea, so much of it in the seawater that
Just enough of the billions of them make it.
There's some thoughts that, and this is the physical oceanographic stuff, that I that's more my research is whether the actual ridges are
All right,
trapping
you want to come wide again?
trapping currents along the ridge itself, and then moving up and down the ridge. So you lose, you get something new happening in high rise, and the tidal currents along the ridge are the actual range of the tides.
Alrighty.
Are roughly, they're done to, they are that 2 kilometer range in one tidal cycle you can get from one vent site to the other vent site.
Thank you. There's some questions whether the larger fauna tend to congregate around these vents as well. If I assume that larger fauna, you mean like fish and things like that. It's a little bit hard to tell because we are such a noisy, loud, bright vehicle that we may have frightened anything off
Yeah,
that
I was
normally
thinking
lives
of
here.
moving this way just to get you around Dante and Hulk, and then we can head over there, right there. All right, cool, sounds good. Let me know when you're ready. Okay.
I'm ready if back row's ready.
Think back row's ready.
We're ready.
Okay.
Ready, Freddy.
We're waiting on you.
Ah, no, you're waiting on Atalanta.
Bridge nav. Can we
great.
have 30 meters 230, please? Thank you.
Great question about what these creatures eat. We know some creatures here have a symbiotic relationship with bacteria in their body. We believe others are predatory, so eating each other. And yeah, it's one of the things we're still working on figuring out.
Can I steal your bubble cam?
Stand by. You can send this me.
You good if I steal bubble cam?
Zoom wide on the upper camera and then porch in for me.
Someone else has asked.
Full wide.
Pardon me.
Full wide, Danny.
Oh, full wide?
Yeah, and then porch in. I'm watching while you're watching the very fragile temp probe. Oh, stays, stay. Who would have thought that a piece of sea channel would wind up being the temp probe holster that actually worked? So simple, just lay it there.
There's a nice view of how long those tube worms can get.
Okay, you good?
Yeah, I'm good now. You can steal bubble.
Stealing what's stealing bubble?
Give me half zoom on upper though.
Was it all right? Was it long?
How's that?
They look pretty long.
Perfect, thank you.
And someone did ask if Dr. Ballard was the first to discover hydrothermal vents, and
Oh, God.
the attribution is given to Dr. Ballard and a team of 30 marine geologists, geochemists, and geophysics
Zoom in there a bit, video.
who discovered
Huh?
hydrothermal vents on the ocean
video.
floor near the Galapagos Islands in 1977.
This is the current taking us right now. We're at Atlanta moving. Not me.
Pardon me, Dan, you are chewing on SBL.
Sorry, thank you for letting me know. As my wife likes to say, you're smacking gum, you're driving me crazy. I get a little carried away with my chewing gum.
Well, it's just so much fun. You can't help it. And yeah, again, a viewer helping me with defining what's going on, and they've written here that many are chemosynthetic and obligate chemosynthetic, but some of them are also grazers, eating the bacterial mats and other things that live here.
Delta is good. Yeah, the current. So, see the current? So,
Ooh, what did I do?
what'd you do?
Undo. Undo.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I don't know. Is there a way to reset it?
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Sour.
know what you did.
I was trying to put your Niskin side up there,
Oh.
but I hit the wrong
Oh,
button.
you can't do that. I have to do it.
Oh, I can't?
No.
Here?
No,
No, I do.
we have to switch cameras here.
We do need to switch winch over though to bubble.
You don't worry about it at the moment.
Can I zoom on these a bit?
I was just commenting on the current has really picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Some folks are noting that their feed is cutting out at the zoom. Great place to look for highlights is on our social medias. Again,
Where's that Atlanta or Hercules, Danny? Sorry, Monica.
No worries, it's all good.
Danny?
Yeah, I noticed that the current was picking up there too, or maybe just we're on the south end of no, we're not. Not even there.
You gotta keep Hercules in view, please, while we're around the vents.
Yep.
Log when you can, but especially when I'm trying to touch a tube worm onto the HD camera.
Kind of see hook.
Oh, they just retracted. You can see what's happening in the upper camera there. Just barely touch it.
So as I said, if
can you pan left a little bit?
your
Pan
feet
left on the HD.
Too late. I lost it. Where are we? Okay, we're good.
Okay.
plump
Come
down.
down 4 meters.
Coming down 4 meters.
Challenging in the current. Just touch.
I'll stop 2154.
Okay. Pan left just a little. Danny, pan left. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yeah, pan the HD camera left a little.
Pan HD left.
Yep. Or right, one or the other. Okay, actually go for full zoom there. Beautiful, that's what I wanted to see.
Neato.
So yeah, it's not too often we get a, or something sticking out there and I can just get a, park my eyebrow on something to get a, I'm holding on with a toe just to get the shot. We'll just get 60 seconds of video or so here.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to start boogieing soon.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's getting cold.
Not yet, it's not. We're good. If it was, I wouldn't be getting this beautiful video here.
I wonder if those palm worms are
Okay, actually I can slowly go wide.
bioluminescent. Their spots are so shiny.
Thank you for the shot. That's good there, you can hold that.
So is the fluffy red part, that's part of the actual worm, and the white tube is just a casing? Who
So-
can teach me about tube worms?
So the fluffy part, the fluffy red part, is like gills.
Okay.
So exchanging gases and stuff with the water. And the tube is the structure that it hides in so that hopefully nothing will eat it
Okay.
because it's kind of squishy.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. My
You can
understanding
actually-
is
Yeah, you can. Have you ever pulled one out of their little straw?
Have
Rather
I?
disgusting.
No. Gross.
The biologists do. So they're in long, like straws, and they have like a, I don't know, it's a worm in a straw.
Yeah.
Tube
So
worm.
if you don't see the fluffy red part sticking out of the end,
Danny, look great
is
with
it
that
possible that it's just hiding down in there?
Yep.
Or do they ever leave their house and make a new house?
They have
no.
they have a root, so they retract. So like you saw a couple of them just when we touched, they all pulled back in. Yeah, they're
Got
like kind of like the sea pens. You know how the sea pens retract on the seabed when we touch?
Yeah.
Very similar.
The structure inside of them actually is called a trophosome. And the oh, look at the crab. The trophosome holds the bacteria that create their food, essentially. And they have a heart, a brain, and like a muscle
Look down a bit, Danny.
musculature that holds their gills out that they can kind of withdraw. But other than that, they don't have eyes or guts or anything like that.
You got to give me a Roger, Danny, because we got to communicate, especially with the chatter in the background, because I don't know if you hear me or not, and sometimes I get impatient. So all you got to do say is tilting down. Or
Yep, tilting down.
Just acknowledge, please. Thank you. We have another structure right to the left of us, so I'm still on my toes here a bit. And I'm trying to get some opportunistic video while the vessel is moving, which is also another dynamic that makes me nervous.
Look at that interesting creature.
I think he's still breathing, as it were.
I was just wondering that myself. He looks
I'm
a little
surprised that he's up there.
fuzzy.
So because they really do love. It's ridiculous how much they love tube worms.
But he's all covered in bacterial mat. Is he
So
still alive?
he's trying to get up there to get those juicy tube worms, and he has failed and croaked. Or maybe he's okay.
Okay, Ashley, you can push in a bit there, please.
Smoke.
Video.
Because I don't understand why they can't just eat those tube worms right now, but they're,
Video.
I guess it's too hot. But if you take those tube worms
Zoom in,
and you
please.
try to put them in your bio box, by the time
Easy on the zoom.
by the time you get into the bio box, you've actually
Yeah, he looks
you got
dead.
about three of those guys latched onto your tube worms, try to take them off them. I don't know. This guy could be alive.
Pen right, just a little tiny pen. We got watch change going on over there. They're not paying attention.
Pan down.
Yeah, tilt down.
Or maybe this
I'll
is the
hold
way
that for
they
60
learn not to
seconds.
go up here. They go up here and then suddenly they turn into
That's good there. Thanks.
a furry. There's a lot of food on him right now. I think he is food.
Yeah, he doesn't look so healthy.
It's bacterial, Matthew.